My girlfriend refuses to put me on our child's birth certificate. I won't allow it. Now, I know what you're thinking. With a title like that, maybe you're overreacting or maybe you're being petty, but this is my story. I, 21 male, am currently having a child with a 20-year-old female. We met about 2 years ago back on a J1 work and travel program. At that time, I was a second-year college student pursuing a bachelor's in secondary education, double majoring in math in Jamaica. By the way, this comes from Training Drawing 713, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I decided to give the J1 program a try after a recent heartbreak from my high school to college sweetheart. I signed up and had gotten a job, hoping for a fresh start. It was there that I later met the mother of my child, Sarah. Sarah stood out to me not because of how dang beautiful and breathtaking she was, but because there was something about her that captivated me. So I did my research and asked around and discovered she was single. Then came the most nerve-wracking moment, which was me asking her out, to which she said no. It took about 3 attempts of asking before she finally agreed, and we hit it off. We had great moments and also some not so great moments. The issue was both her friends and family weren't my biggest fans as they believed I was only with her for a green card. Anyways, I later asked her to be my girlfriend, and then my time came to return to my country and for her to go to college. We video called on WhatsApp and did pretty well with long distance. I visited her school, and the next summer I returned to her hometown once more for work. She also returned home, and we went on various dates and were a bit more involved in family outings, trying to get in good standings, etc. Now, we discussed marriage, and she was comfortable with it, and surprisingly, she wanted to do it then and there. Time came, and once again, I returned to my country, and she went back to school, which brings us to a few months ago. This is where my life became heck on earth. After returning to school, we discussed her coming to Jamaica to celebrate her birthday. We were both excited. She ran it by her parents, and they approved. And so we got the ticket. I picked her up in Kingston. Things were going well. We messed around, got her hair done, and went to various attractions like beaches, falls, etc. Now, all of which she was excited to go to, and we had fun with the family. They were pretty chill. Of course, she couldn't understand our dialect sometimes, but outside of that, it was fun. Her trip lasted a few days, and eventually I had to drop her off at the airport, which was very sad. And a few days later, I got a call saying she did a test, and guess what? Mighty God, did my head hurt. My life flashed before my eyes. Now, I asked her if she was sure, and she did several more tests, and guess what? She was definitely pregnant. Having discovered that, reality finally stuck. We discussed some options, and well, she decided she was going to keep it, and I was like, okay. I started to research ways of getting citizenship so I could be there, high-paying jobs, houses, costs for schools, everything. She started talking about how we were going to be a family, raise a child together, etc., etc. So I proposed marriage, and her response was no. She claimed that she and her parents believed marriage would only be for the kid and nothing more, and that I was using the opportunity to get the green card, etc. Things got even worse when I suggested the kid could visit in winter or so, to which she remarked that she would have to confirm with her parents or it's not safe for a child under 2 to travel. Things progressed even more, and it felt more like whatever I said or suggested had to be vetted by her and others around her before she would even consider it. I voiced my concerns to her, to which she remarked I was overreacting. To be fair, she brings up things regarding the child and often asks for my opinion, but I feel as though whatever I say has to be vetted once again. A thing that caused an argument was the matter of the child being circumcised. I don't believe in it, but Sarah does. In the end, I feel as though I was immature in how I responded to it, and it caused an argument to which I later apologized. In the end, though, after doing health research, she eventually decided not to do it. Things were going well until, after talking, I discovered she preferred to have the child not have my last name, but instead have hers. I was against this because, to me, that's the greatest honor in having a child of your own, to which she remarked I should be happy by the fact that I get a child. Her reasoning was that she'd be the one with the kid in the United States, and it would make it easier to pick up the child, and that she'd have the child, so it's only fair. I told her that's nonsense because my name doesn't affect her picking up the child, to which she said she would be the one carrying and birthing the child, etc., etc. Now, at this point, I believe the situation could not get any worse, but well, it does. After that argument, which lasted weeks, by the way, things calmed down and we were okay until recently. I was looking at flights and stuff to come for her birth, That was the plan until she proposed my name not be on the birth certificate because it makes it easier for the child to get a passport and travel to see me. She said she'd researched it and it would be easier if my name wasn't on the birth certificate because I'd have to travel there to sign forms for the passport and it takes a while and that it's expensive. I told her I'm willing to pay it and I'd prefer my name be on the birth certificate, to which she was displeased. We got into another argument and she sent me a message stating that it's not her out to get me, it's just what's best for the child, etc., etc. I didn't respond. Instead, I did research, made a PowerPoint presentation disproving what she said with credible references, etc. In response to this amazing PowerPoint presentation you put together, she made a Word document stating that it's not personal, that with everything Trump is doing, it would make citizenship easier for the child. Bear in mind, she's an American citizen, born and raised. She also mentioned her insurance, that it would be cheaper if my name wasn't on it. I responded with more research disproving what she has said, but then she said it would make things easier in case emergencies happen and she needed consent from the father. I told her I'd sign a consent form that she can have in her phone, but then she said she's not sure she wants to do that as it's extra work for her. And I can just add my name later in life when I figure out my citizenship status. I told her there's no need for that and that not having my name there is taking away my right as a father. She then said the job of a father is to be there and that I won't be there consistently and she'll have to raise him and it's what's best for him and her. I've been looking into getting a stay there as a teacher, but I lack teaching experience as I'm a recent graduate as of last month. Are there parents here, fathers that can offer any advice? What should I do? Anyone experience anything like this? I don't want any bashful comments about her, just need solid advice. Anybody. So first off, I'd like to thank everyone who offered advice. It's been a lot and it took me a while to catch up. But yeah, I've got some pretty solid advice. Before I go any further, I'd like to confirm or clear up a few things here. The aim was never to put down or talk to anyone. I genuinely needed help and I wanted to know if anyone had experienced anything similar or maybe get an American perspective to see if I'm overreacting or I don't know something. The trip occurred between October 9 to the 14th. She said she felt weird around the 19th and around the 22nd, she did a test and got a faint positive. She did several more tests and still got positive results. From those saying honor thing, I get from your perspective, but where I'm from, it's the greatest joy as a guy to have a child carry on your name. It's comparable to winning the lottery, and it's normally criticized if the opposite occurs, unless the father is irresponsible or paternity is uncertain. I understand from the other perspective that the woman carries a child and that should be afforded to her as well. That's my main issue, is not the last name, but me being on the birth certificate because I'd legally have no right to the child otherwise. I know I should have used a wiener wrapper. It's entirely on me. I fully accept that. Some pretty solid advice was offered, all of the suggestions of a paternity test and legal actions. And I had fully intended to get a paternity test done at birth to rule out that fear from my mind. To be honest, Sarah has never given me a reason to doubt her in the past, always been the clingy type, which I have no problem with, who wants to talk on the phone 24/7. I suggested to her to go out sometime and make friends, as I didn't want her college experience to be remembered as just talking to a boy. That said, we were long distance, so I'm not 100% sure absolutely nothing happened. I will be doing the test, but to do it now is pretty expensive, as about thousands of US dollars equates to millions in Jamaican currency. So it's cheaper to get it done at birth. I've had a talk with Sarah explaining how I feel about the situation, and I'm willing to meet her in the middle as long as my name remains on the birth certificate, to which she remarked, it's just a piece of paper and it doesn't affect me being allowed to visit or not. So I asked her how she would feel if the roles were reversed, and she said it would suck, but she's not the father and cannot be in my shoes, only hers, and has to do what's best for her and saves her less work. I don't think I'm gonna win here. She says that she'd be willing to give the child my last name, but will not list me on the birth certificate because it's easier. A ground for this is because I'm not a citizen and won't be present full-time for at least 2 years. I fully plan on being there, but like I said, I'm lacking experience. I had planned on getting my citizenship while doing my master's degree, and then my plan would be to migrate to be a lecturer to earn enough money to support them both. For those who said I'm only doing it for the papers, only doing it for the green card, I initially asked Sarah if she would be willing to live in Jamaica, to which she said no because she has all of her family back home, I decided to leave mine in order to make it work. After explaining everything and basically pouring my heart out, she said she thinks I'm emotionally manipulating her. This whole thing is stressful, so I just told my parents. I haven't told them since the start of this due to the fact that this entire thing is crazy, and I know they too would find the situation very weird. It wasn't the easiest saying this, hey, I have a kid, but won't have a kid legally. But they pretty much grasped the situation. Their advice was to work with whatever demands the mother makes or whatever works for the mom, as it's primarily the mom that has all the power, even though that is very unfair as it is. That was literally the most heartbreaking thing to hear. I know I could get a lawyer, but with the lawyer fees, I'd be spending millions of Jamaican dollars just to see the child, or more so to be listed on his birth certificate. I'm taking a commenter's advice who suggested visiting in person and trying to talk things out. Oh, and by the way, yes, I've seen the videos and been on the video calls. She definitely is pregnant. I just can't say 100% that it's mine, and with everything, my certainty keeps dropping. So I'll try to make amends and get a test done at the birth to confirm everything, which is a few months away, practically speaking. Like I said before, though, she said she won't stop me from being in the kid's life, but my name won't be added to the birth certificate, so I guess you can take it where you can get it. I really hope all of this will work out. Some people were saying to ghost her or just not to be there, but what if the kid is mine? I can't simply up and leave and abandon it. I made a mistake, and as a result, it's here. It never asked to be, so I gotta man up, you know?